Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a video with the brand new Silicone Infused Super Sponge. They contacted me a while ago and asked to just send PR. They didn't ask for anything in exchange. And I just saw Tati do her review yesterday and I got mine this morning and I'm like, I'm gonna film a review. Alongside with Tati, I did a review of the Silly Sponge. If you can't remember, I don't even know where mine is. I did one of those years ago and look, it worked well and I liked it, but I went straight back to my sponges. This one, I feel like it's not going to get lost in my sponges because it basically is a sponge. A little bit about this. You can buy this online now. It does just say pre-order and it is at the price $19.95. Regular price is $29.95. So it just says silicone infused super sponge. It's non-absorbent, 2 to 4 times more foundation coverage. It expands like a regular sponge when wet. Longer lifespan, lasts 2 to 4 times longer than other sponges. Antibacterial, silicone infused, barrier limits bacteria, which is great. Scrubs clean, use soap and scrubber for an easy clean. So I can see that it comes with like a little cleaner, like scrubber thing there. So it's latex free and cruelty free as well. Although it just says cruel free. So you don't even need to tear it, you can just open it up. I'm so interested to see how this feels because like I couldn't obviously tell from Tati's video on how it feels. How can I describe how it feels? So it's squishy like a sponge and it has like this spongy bit on the bottom and basically it feels like it's got a thin layer of, you know, plastic or silicone over the sponge, which is basically what it is. I don't know really how to describe it, but like, I mean, usually with a sponge, if you were to do this, it would kind of tear away, if you know what I mean. But this, obviously they're saying you can just scrub it clean. This part here feels like a regular sponge. You can see that it's got like glitter in the silicone part as well. I will say it's not as soft as a regular sponge. It's because of the coating that it's got on it. I'm gonna go and wet this and then apply my makeup. Oh my god. Okay, I've got a funny story. Okay, I didn't feel like it was really getting that much bigger and like it is a little bit bigger but it's not. And so what I was trying to do is, because obviously like it's a silicone coating so the water can't go through there, so I was putting the water through here, just squeezing it under the tap, and then I let it fill up quite a bit and then I just squeezed it and it got like I just squeezed it and a whole bunch of water just squirted out onto the wall. I'm glad it didn't squirt out onto me, but like there was a lot that just squirted from this one hole because obviously like I've squeezed it and the pressure made a hole in the silicone and it's just like wet the whole wall. I'm like, okay. And then like I squeezed it again and it came out of that hole. So just be careful of the water spraying everywhere. This is what it's like wet. It feels really nice and squishy. This sponge feels really nice and soft. Put some primer on. I have the Maybelline Superstay Foundation in Sand. I need a lot of coverage. Obviously you can see like my skin has quite a bit of scarring on it and even right now I've got some active breakouts. I'm just going to do one side and I'll take the silicone side and just do that. Like, I mean, it feels really nice and soft. It's spreading around evenly and easy. So I think that did give really good coverage. There is like a lot of product on the sponge. So even though it might not have absorbed it, I feel like there's still a lot on the sponge. Let me just do the other side and I'll just see. I go usually like straight on my face or straight on the brush. It's hard to see how much I would usually use. Like I would usually put that much on and then I'd put obviously like another layer or even 2 depending on if I needed more coverage. So like, I mean, I think that the coverage is pretty good. It feels comfortable to use. I just take some straight on the sponge, just over like the areas that I need. Oh wow, that worked really well. Like I think I dabbed it like 5 times and it gave me the coverage that I needed. Okay, sis, calm down. I'll show you close up. This foundation can look a little bit cakey. What I'm going to do is take the sponge and just dab that around the areas that I feel have like a little bit too much, which is usually like around my T-zone. That's really wet. That hasn't gone over too well. It's kind of taken away the product there. And on my nose too. Ooh. Oh, what is going on? I feel like there's a lot of product caked on this sponge. I'm gonna go and do some concealer. Now this is just with the Shape Tape in Light Sand. Now I haven't gone overboard with this, just to see. And I'll use the other, like the clean side. It's like really sticky, like really tacky. Because there's no water in there, like it's just like tack. Look at this side of my nose. And then you use this sponge and it just like comes off. I don't know, like obviously this is my first time using it, and potentially with new products or tools, they can take a while to learn how to use. I'm going to use this like I would usually and pick up some powder. It picks up powder really, really, really nicely, actually. I don't personally like cream contour or anything like that, so I'm just going to quickly finish off the rest of my face and then come back. Okay, so my makeup is all done. Makeup application, nice, easy. It was pretty quick. It was really even. The only thing is I feel like you are limited, and this probably depends on the product that you use as well. If you have something that gives you like a little bit more time to work with, that might be good, but I used the Maybelline Super Stay. It did definitely, like, especially on this side of the nose, it dried up quickly, and then when I used the sponge, like it just got tacky and it caused it to come off. I fixed it in the end with the concealer, but just keep that in mind. In regards to application, I feel like it did a really good job. Potentially, yeah, using less product as well, especially like when I went over a second time with the extra coverage, I feel like that worked really, really well. And I was so happy with that, because usually I'd have to like go and pack on concealer as well. So that was great. Yeah, the downsides were the tackiness, like you guys saw it. So, and also the product sticking a lot to the sponge. So now I'm going to show you the process of washing the sponge. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and clean the sponge. I do have some cleanser here, so I'm going to pop that on here. And then I've wet this. That seems to be coming off all right. There is, I believe, a lot of product on there though. Oh, wow. Okay. Now, like, I mean, this little thing is pretty easy to hold. Now, this is really interesting because this is the hole where the water came out. You can see that there. And that is the part that isn't coming clean. Just try to put it out there. Okay, so that's me cleaning it for like a good probably 2 minutes or so. Still got... Okay, so that process, like, I mean, it was relatively easy. However, I feel like it's so much easier to clean a beauty sponge. In saying that, it does take longer to clean a brush for me personally. I like my brushes to be nice and clean, and they can take a while to get all of the stains out. Obviously, the fact that it's stained, it doesn't impact the use. I would hope it wouldn't. As I said earlier, that's the little spot where the water came out onto the wall. Obviously, product has just got its way in there. Yeah, it's not going to come out either. So I don't know what to do about that. I don't think that there is anything I can do about that. The sponge, it say it came out really nice and clean. However, I found because the water comes out of this part and in from this part, this is quite wet, so much more than a usual sponge. So if you want to use this part, make sure it is quite dry. Otherwise it can, I don't know, it didn't blend my makeup that well. So potentially it could have been too wet for me, but then this part felt really dry with the product buildup. I don't know, I'm so confused. That is my first impressions on the Super Sponge, the silicone infused makeup sponge. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you wanted to check it out, I'll have a link down below. But for me, I don't know, like, I mean, I guess I'll mix it up and try and use it a bit more, but I'll probably just stick to my sponges because they're easier to clean. And as I said, obviously, this is my first use. Sometimes tools can take a little bit of time to get used to. That is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.